What's going on, guys? I'm Tyler, and in continuing my series of Disney movie reviews, I'm here to let you know that The Three Caballeros is no perfect movie. Now, how do I describe this movie? So, at the beginning, it's Donald's birthday party, Friday the 13th. You gotta like that. And during the first 2 minutes, he's watching these two movies that he got as presents that are about Latin American culture. But the second and third presents come to life in the form of his friends, Jose Carioca and Panchito Pistoles. Yes, I'm calling him that because the majority of you have never heard of him, and after this video, most of you will probably forget about him anyways. And the two of them take Donald on various trips across Brazil and Mexico, hopefully to learn about the culture. And Donald does learn one major important thing. Women are beautiful. I'm not kidding. That's basically the most that he gets out of it. And a part of me really wanted to see this movie because I have seen Legend of the Three Caballeros on Disney+. It was a surprisingly really good show. It has elements of DuckTales that you really appreciate. It has a couple things that I wish DuckTales did more, but overall, it was still a really fun show to watch. And I, of course, have seen them on DuckTales, and it was still one of the better episodes of Season 2 for sure. And I was curious to see where that all started between the three of them. And believe it or not, even though they are the best part of the movie, it takes until like halfway to even get to them. Because the first 20 minutes are two shorts that really just feel like throwaways. They're the kind of shorts where there's a narrator explaining everything to us in full detail, even though we're watching it on screen as the characters are silently reacting to what's going on. And there is way too much narration in there. There is more pointless factoids played out in front of us and spoken in front of us than The Irishman. And the narrator for the first short is Sterling Holloway, the original voice of Winnie the Pooh. And as great of a voice actor as he was, no doubt about it, he sounds really boring and monotone as a narrator. It just really took me out of those shorts. When it comes down to the middle portion where the three of them actually interact with each other, that was the major highlight. I like these characters. Jose has such a calm and laid-back personality that offsets Donald perfectly, and Panchito reminds me of... He makes me wonder if Donald could channel all of his crazy energy and clumsiness in a much more positive way. The three of them easily have the most memorable song in the movie, which is their theme song. And during that sequence, there is so much movement going on, but it's still, for the most part, focused between the three of them that it was a lot of fun to enjoy, especially at the end when Panchito has this huge high note and the two of them are trying to shut him up. They come up with so many crazy ways to try and get rid of him, and he comes back every single time. It was creative slapstick. It was funny. It was a lot of fun. I had a smile on my face throughout that entire sequence. And for the most part, the live-action animation combo is seamless enough, but there are moments where you can tell the actors are looking at nothing, and you can tell that it's their first time doing that, and it does affect their performances. They look a little stiff and emotionless in certain parts where they should be feeling really excited, and I don't know what the directors back then did to have the actors interact with absolutely nothing, but not only did it affect their performances, it kind of affected their singing and dancing too, because there are moments where the live actors are in the background, they're doing their own thing, but in the foreground it's Donald and his friends, and they're also singing and dancing and doing their own thing, and everything is moving around in such an unfocused way. And the fact that this movie was shot in the 4:3 ratio, everything looks like just thrown at you with no idea of where it's going. I had absolutely no idea who I was supposed to be looking at, or if I was supposed to be looking at everything all at once, because those moments just stung the crap out of my eyes, and I was lost at what was really happening. And even when it becomes about the three of them, you would think at first it would focus a lot more on them like bouncing off of singers and dancers and learning different things about Brazil and Mexico, because it is done in a surprisingly respectful way. There aren't any cheap caricatures. Most of the characters in the movie that are Latin American are live actors, so there's no real exaggerations that Disney could pull off. But in a weird way, it becomes confused over whether or not it wants to go for the Saludos Amigos thing of just straightforward showing off the culture to a Fantasia-ish type of thing where the images are becoming incredibly abstract and surreal and kooky. The last 20 minutes, at least it felt like 20 minutes, was kind of a Pink Elephants on Parade knockoff where it goes from all these hallucinatory things about Donald craving women to him and the buddies, like, dancing inside of a bull costume to, I'm not even kidding, a musical dance number where Donald is circling around these moving cacti and this cactus turns into a woman that he has the hots for, and it goes back and forth so many times, and I can appreciate the fact that they were going for something abstract, but if you're gonna do that, go abstract all the way, or at least warn us in advance. Have it in a Fantasia sort of thing where it's normal, short, normal, short. This movie is so unbalanced, and it's clear that that's what they were going for, but it just didn't always work. If it had a more straightforward structure like Fantasia or Melody Time, where every short had its own beginning, middle, and end, and then it would segue nicely into the next one, this movie would have worked a lot better, but because it tries to be so kinetic and so much of a frenzy, the Three Caballeros goes from boring and pointless to exciting and entertaining from here and there, and it was a lot to digest, and maybe if I watch it a second time, maybe I'll enjoy it a little bit more. If I decide to do so, I'll probably put up another video, but as is, I was a little let down by the Three Caballeros, and I'm going to give it a 2.5 out of 5. Guys, thanks as always for watching. If you've seen the Three Caballeros movie or the Legend of Three Caballeros show, be sure to let me know in the comments down below what you thought of it. Be sure to stay tuned for more Disney reviews, and be sure to like and subscribe. Take care.